Well, good evening, and good afternoon. This is Wednesday evening, which I normally don't do any shows on a Wednesday evening, but sometimes you got to create exclusive shows. I want to thank those who are joining me coming in from YouTube, those joining me from Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and welcome to the show. And I want to thank you. Yeah, how are you, Ainsworth? I'm good, man. Bless you. Nice seeing you over there on TikTok. Fantastic, fantastic. Well, listen, I'll be very quick and very brief. Tonight there's an exciting time. I would say exciting, concerning, interesting, intriguing, and you know, breakthroughs. And I say breakthroughs because people have heard about the Windrush scandal over the years with the UK, and there's so many different scandals which are happening. The post office, even the blood one recently. We're living in a world where there's so many issues, and justice is needed, justice is required in all different respect, and there are different programs which are used to sort of what should I say, bring it to life and bring it into the four walls of the home to people so people can recognize and understand what is happening. So tonight I have with myself Miss Nicola Gardner. Nicola Gardner, she is the actress, one of the key actresses in the show. And Nicola Gardner is a writer and actress. Nicola is a creator and writer of the Windrush Warriors, a comedy shown at 53 to the King's Army in October 22, and also the Community Centre, a multi-ethnic comedy play that was shown at Edinburgh Fringe in 2019. And I will also have Mr. John Klark, who is also the director, to get this all going. And if I just say something else as well, Windrush Warriors is a poignant story of four African Caribbean pensioners seeking justice. And the story exposes the Windrush scandal. However, the show is life affirming after living here all her life. An elderly black woman is having her immigration status investigated. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring in Miss Gardner, and I'm also going to bring in Mr. John Klark into the show. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you doing, both of you?
Hello, good evening. Thank you so much for inviting us onto your wonderful show. We are really honored to be here, aren't we?
We are. Thank you.
Tonight. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. When I got the a key person from the High Commission sent the information, I just moved on it quickly because, of course, there are certain things you don't think twice about, really, especially something of this nature regarding the Windrush.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all aware of the scandals and everything. But we're going to go straight into it. Tell us about the Windrush War. But tell us first about yourself, Nicola, and then John.
Right. Hello to everybody. I'm Nicola Gardner. I'm a writer as well as being an actress. As an actress, I've appeared on quite a few of the soaps, Emmerdale, Coronation Street, Brookside, many years ago. And most recently on Coronation Street, playing Helena, the Undertaker from Harper Hay. I've also toured extensively in high-profile stage productions and also appeared in many BBC Radio 4 productions as well. So I've been very lucky over the years. Now, as a writer, I started writing because I wanted to give myself a significant platform so that I could have bigger roles. Because when you write for yourself, obviously, you're going to write a big role. And that's really worked in my favor because casting directors have been able to see me in larger roles and therefore cast me in better roles on TV and also on the stage. So it's been a win-win situation, Sylbourne. Give you a very brief idea of why I wrote the Windrush Warriors, it was because I was very, very outraged with the events in 2018 when the Windrush scandal broke. And the then Home Secretary, Theresa May, at the time introduced the infamous hostile environment.
Yes. Yes.
And, it really targeted the most vulnerable of our society. And I wanted to write a show that depicted those events and how the impact,
Mm.
affected our community. And just to give people an idea that, we didn't crumble, we didn't,
Mm.
lie down and take it. Many of us said, no, we're not taking them. We're not taking this
Yes.
bullying, this
Mm.
harassment. And people fought back. And there are many of these Windrush generation groups throughout the UK that have
Yes.
come about to help each other and to give advocacy to people who
Yeah.
are in that situation of
Mm.
being questioned, their immigration being questioned.
Yeah.
um, how do they deal with that?
Yeah.
How do they deal with the threat of deportation? And all of that is within the show, The Windrush Warriors.
Thank you for that. And before we get into the show a bit and how people can watch the show, John, how did you get involved with all of this process now?
Yes, so I've worked with Nicola myself for quite a few years on different projects, and
Yes.
my career in theatre has been a lot about bringing underrepresented groups to the stage or bringing new stories, untold stories to the stage. And it's a great honor to work with this because we incorporate a lot of real life stories, into the show. Sometimes people say, "Well, it's a comedy," but actually we do it respectfully. And what I really like about this show is that it's accessible. Because even tonight, we've just done a preview. There was a member of the audience from Australia. She said she'd never, ever heard about the Windrush Scandal. So we're coming at it in a respectful way, but in an accessible way as well. So we're bringing the scandal to wider awareness, in other community groups and other audiences.
Yeah. It's very interesting when you mentioned about comedy because uh, when I was thinking about it, and I said, should I say anything about comedy because it's
Mm.
a very serious issue, life
Mm,
threatening for lots of persons. They are destabilized, their
yes.
families are uprooted and everything, and it's traumatic for
Yeah.
some person. So tell us then um, about the show and what it's trying to capture. What is
Mm.
the essence about it in a way that will captivate persons and persons who are listening that will want to go and to actually see this theater production.
Yes, well, what's captivating about it is that it's courage under fire.
Yes.
Here are a group of people who are being challenged, and one of them, an elderly West Indian woman, raises the question, well, why don't we fight back?
Mm.
And her pals say to her, well, we can't fight a government. And she says, why not? We need to
Mm.
rally support. We need to get in the newspapers. We need to raise awareness. We need to
Yeah.
call out to ethnic minorities everywhere. And, just let's,
Ring the alarm, as I say, ring the alarm, sound the
yeah,
alarm.
yeah,
Yeah.
sound the alarm
Mm.
and let's see how far it will take us. Let's get on the local radio. Let's unite the community. The strength in numbers. And so they start this fight back group, which they name the Windrush Warriors.
Mm.
And many wonderful things happen. In fact, one of the lines in the play is, good comes out of bad. And they
Mm.
start to develop as people. Because before they sat in the community centre playing dominoes and knitting and doing crosswords. And now they're presented with this huge challenge,
Mm.
the threat of deportation. And so they put their foot down and say, no, we're not going to accept this. We're not going to be bullied by the government. We don't care if we're outnumbered, And then another line in the play is, look at David and Goliath and look who won that fight, you know. So it is a play that is one that has a message of hope,
Yes.
that has a message to people that, if you're being bullied, if you are facing oppression, you have no other recourse but to fight back.
So what you're actually saying then, the show is not, well, it is moving slightly, well, what should I say? It is Windrush inspired, but also you
Yes,
inspire other challenges in people's life as well, not to
yes,
Yes.
accept things, you know,
absolutely.
be able to stand up and fight against injustice.
Yes, very
Uh,
well said.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. And that's what people would take away from the show.
yeah,
In addition, it's entertaining as well as being
mm,
educational, in that, Black people, when we are challenged, we bring humor. We try and make ourselves cheerful so that we can rise to the challenge and not be miserable, you know? And so the show is one of laughter. There's a
yeah,
lot of laughter, as well as as you said before, the serious topic of the
yes.
Windrush scandal.
And John, what is it that you're trying to capture as well at directing it? What is it that you want the audience to leave? I'm sure as a director you're seeing ahead from the beginning, and you're seeing the end result. What is it that you want people to leave after they watch the show,
Yeah, I think,
the production? Yes,
as Nicola said, I think it's a message of hope. It's a message of,
yes,
people can organize themselves, they can
mhm,
fight back, but also it's educational as well.
Mm.
And actually,
yes,
yes, you can lecture people, and absolutely right, there has to be an inquiry. We have to hold the government to account. We have to
mhm,
protest, absolutely. But also, if you make an audience laugh, they
yes,
They
remember,
remember.
they
yeah,
remember. And I tell you tonight, someone is going to go away and is going to Google the Windrush scandal, and they
yes,
will learn, and they will educate, and they will educate their family, their community. People. Obviously, we've got the legacy of the British Empire, which
mm,
impacted, across the globe. Different communities then will start thinking, well, actually, I can relate to that.
Mm.
And these
mm,
people, as it says in the play, that one of the characters says very strongly, we are citizens of this United Kingdom, and we won't allow anyone to bully us. So it's a mixture of education and hope.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And tell us about the different you got four persons, four actors, actors
Yes.
and
Yes.
yeah,
Well,
and
there's 6 actors in
yeah,
this show. I play Patience, the African receptionist of
uh,
the community centre, and the community centre is where the African Caribbean pensioners spend their days because it saves on heating and lighting. And up until their immigration status was being investigated, they were leading just an ordinary kind of blissful retirement with no
yes,
worries. Now, suddenly, people are asking them to prove that they're citizens of the UK. They can't understand why they're being asked that, because up until then, they thought they were. But
mm,
they can see that they have to prove it. And so this is what they're going to do. They're going to set out to prove it, and they're going to stay in the place that they've called home for the
yes,
past 60, 70 years.
yes,
And, really, it's a betrayal, to be honest with you, because as you are aware, Sylbourne, just after the Second World War, Caribbean people were invited over here
yes,
to
yes,
help the UK rebuild the economy. And
mm,
here we are, all these decades later, they're being shown that they're undesirable and
yeah,
they're no longer necessary
mm,
and being told to go home.
yes,
It's unacceptable. And
yes,
when all that happened in 2018, that's when I thought to myself, oh, with the lens of theatre, I can allow everybody to see that comes along to see the show, to learn about what happened and
yes,
how, this group of people reacted to it and
yes, yes.
decided to form this fight back group.
So,
Does that
so someone is, so someone is watching now and said, "Okay, Sylbourne, shut it. Where do I see this show? When do I watch this show? Where can I go and watch this show?" So tell us now, where can we watch come to the theatre, I know you can tell, and you have an idea. I have an idea where, but you tell me where
Sure.
people can watch it. Yes.
Well, this Friday and Saturday, it's on at Theatre Peckham. So that's the
Mm,
24th and 25th of May, and it starts at 7:30. And we still have
yes.
some seats left at Theatre
Yes.
Peckham. And then from Tuesday of next week, we transferred to the Etc. Theatre in Camden. And then the following week,
Yep, the following Tuesday, we're at Applecart Arts, which is in East Ham. That's for 5
Yes.
nights. And then we transfer up to the north. So then we're in Preston, a venue called the Continental. Then Huddersfield, the Lawrence Batley Theatre. And the end of June, we return to Nicola's hometown of Manchester for
Okay.
5 nights at the Anthony Burgess Foundation in Manchester
Yeah.
at the end of June.
so it's a very busy tour.
Yeah.
And we're delighted to undertake this tour and
Yeah.
to just share this message with
Yes.
everybody that comes to see the show.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you can actually go to Theatre Peckham, London, 24th and 25th of May. What time is it from, by the way?
At 7:30.
At 7:30.
Yes.
And then following that, Etc. Theatre, London, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st of May, and the 1st of June.
To June, yeah.
Yep. And then you go to Applecart
Yeah.
Arts Theatre,
Applecart
London.
Arts Theatre,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th of June,
Yeah.
Applecart. And then you go all the way now, and you whoosh, go down to Preston then.
Yes. To the Continental, where
Yes.
we've played before.
We
We've
have
put on
done
shows
before.
there before
Yeah.
and had a great reception because there's a large Caribbean community in Preston.
Yes.
Yeah. And they always support our shows. And then after that, we are
the Lawrence
the
Batley
Lawrence
Batley.
Batley.
in
Lawrence
Huddersfield.
Batley Theatre, Huddersfield, yes.
Huddersfield.
That's 18th, 19th, and 21st of June.
That's right.
And then finally at Anthony Burgess Foundation, Manchester. That's where you go back home. 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th of June.
Yes, absolutely.
And and then based on how this goes, that is how you will determine if you want to continue.
Well, definitely. I have a larger vision for this.
Yes,
That
yes.
I'd very much like to get it onto TV, to get a commission to put it onto television. And to that end, I've written 6 episodes.
Yes.
I've also met with some very influential people within the TV industry. And you must have heard of Trix Worrell, who wrote Desmond's, which I would say is the UK's best sitcom ever. And he very kindly has read my script, given me feedback, given me some idea of how to present it in order for people to look at it, you know, with a view to producing it. Trix has his own production company as well.
Yes.
And I've met with Angela Ferreira, who is Sir Lenny Henry's producer. And again, she's read it. She's coming to see the show at the Etc. Theatre. So, you know, I've really done legwork, homework to try and get some influential people on board and try and help me with this aim of getting onto TV. Because, I mean, you said before, we're talking about elderly people.
Yes.
And, you know, it's not often that you see TV programs that feature elderly people. I think Lester the Summer Wine, you know, there are very few on TV, never mind black elderly people. So it would be groundbreaking. But I want to break ground. You know, I want to get it onto TV. This is my ultimate aim. It's a great story and it could run forever.
That's very interesting. And because I believe there's a gentleman who's doing a one-man show on the streets of something, Streets of Gold. I can't remember his name. I know him, of course. He's doing something on the Windrush sector. I see someone who said Adinka Arts Collective. Looking forward to being in the Peckham audience, and well done to all for keeping this important issue in the news, which is very important. Of course, you know, I as you said, I presume you'll be then going over to Jamaica, going over to the Caribbean, going all to the different Caribbean countries which have been affected, isn't it?
Yes.
Hey, John, are you ready for John?
Absolutely, yeah, we'd love it.
We'd
We would
love
it.
that. On
Yeah.
Sunday, I've been asked to attend the PMP, the British branch of the PMP, the
Yeah.
AGM, and do a small scene from the play and
Okay.
also give them a talk. So that's really nice that I've
Yes.
now got a chance to talk to people.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you know, spread the word in that way, and hopefully they will come to the show. So
Yes.
you know, bit by bit, and as you say, the High Commission, you got the information from them,
Yeah.
so it's spreading.
It is spreading, yes, and
Yeah.
we all are we're the legs that gets it going around. You know, I'm part of the
Yes.
leg, the network,
Oh.
because the diaspora is I consider the diaspora as fully functioning, and it's linked up and it's glued up in a sense, you know, where everybody touch base and connect. You know, it's like you're walking down the road, you see another black person, you go like this, you know what I mean? There's a connection there with the people, and I believe that people are actually pulling and coming together. Can I just ask, in regards to your costs and concessions for like elderly folks or so, what's your is there any special deal for elderly folks, people in Peckham or so?
Yes, you know, the focus has been on these four African Caribbean pensioners. And the reason for that is because these are the people that were targeted, aren't
Yes.
they? You see? So that really, as I said before, I started off our interview by saying that I was outraged. How dare they? You know, target this vulnerable group of people who have worked so hard. You know, black people are the backbone of the NHS, and you know they've given many years. And instead of honouring the legacy of the Windrush generation,
Yes.
they're treated badly. So that was a real motivation for me to write the show. And
Yes. Yeah.
you know, just to share that message. And as John says, there are so many people who haven't even heard of the Windrush
Yes.
Scandal.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, one of the actors who applied to you know, come and be one of the pensioners, she came from, was it Bermuda?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't really know much about it
Didn't know much
at
about
all.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can see that theatre is fantastic for
Yes.
sharing messages, and as John said before, you know, with comedy, people remember when they laugh. People remember things.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And John, what's the price? The tickets
So
price?
about the ticket price. So if people were to come to Theatre Peckham, and we've got some tickets available for Friday and Saturday. If you live in Peckham, there is a special price of £7.50. So when you
Okay.
get onto the website, it might all say £17.50, but that's full price. Yeah. So you click
Yes.
there, and it will come up with a concession, which I think maybe £10.
Yeah, £10,
£10, I think.
or for people who, as you say, live in Peckham, it's a
£7.50.
great price.
Right. Right.
Theatre, it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
It's great because, like, you know, what does a tenner get you these days? Do you know what I mean?
Not much.
Not much.
Give
A
you
whole
like
night's entertainment.
two lattes actually.
Yeah, and if you're living in Peckham, it's £7.50, which is even better. You know, so
Yes. Yes.
it's
And
the
then
price of a
people
cheap
can go.
ticket for the day.
Yeah, and people can go to the website there,
Yes.
windrushwarriors.com or so. Listen, if I'm to do if I'm to do a little clip, and I say I'm gonna cut a little 3-4 seconds or 5 minutes bit or 2 minutes bit, and you're gonna sell the program. So I'm gonna do something whereby and I cut it and send it back to you guys. Tell us about the show. Do something spectacular you know, about the show, and to come to the show. Sell it. I'm gonna do something. Yeah. Go ahead, Nicola.
Shall I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay, then. Yeah. Well, I would ask everybody to support us. And I would say that, how many shows are out there that feature a multiracial cast, a black cast? Very few. And these actors are good, and we are funny. And you'll have a great evening. It's a great evening's entertainment, and it's a full evening. They're
Yes.
two halves with a 20-minute interval. So you're really going to get value for money. And in addition, what you will be doing is making sure that the actors have a career, because we need people to come and see us
Yes.
to make sure that we can carry on within the acting industry, because it isn't easy.
Mm.
It hasn't been easy
Yes.
all these years. And as I say, it got easier because I started writing my own stuff, and therefore I could write larger parts for
Yes.
myself. But initially, the first few years were not easy at all. So by coming to see us, you therefore would be assisting us with our careers. You would also be assisting us to share this message, because what the government would like is for us all to forget about it and to sweep it under the carpet. But that is not going to happen, simply because the impact of the Windrush scandal is continuous. And those people who should have been compensated, I think it's such a tiny percentage. I think only 5%
Wow.
of, of those impacted were ever compensated.
Mhm.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, and there's no redress, you
So
know?
the awareness is very crucial. The awareness is very crucial.
Totally,
Keep it in the
totally.
focus and in the eye gate and in the mindset of people, and of course the people will touch the government, and but one of the things also in regards to even like politics as well, like what is happening now, it is for people, constituencies and persons to really reach out to their MPs or whatever to keep that message in their eyes,
Oh,
because there's so many things that will take the focus away, but to keep the Windrush as something, because even though maybe directly I don't maybe have a generation of Windrush persons, but they set the page, they set the pace, they started the pace for all of us. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
Mhm.
foundation,
absolutely.
which is very crucial. Yeah. That.
And I think there's, quite a few people who actually died before they were compensated.
Mm,
And
mm,
as you say, it keeps that dialogue open. I mean, until you mentioned the post office scandal,
yeah.
until the program was shown,
Yes.
then,
Yes.
there was no awareness of it. There was nothing being done.
The
And
power.
as
Yes.
soon as it was aired, people knew about it. And
Yes.
suddenly people had to be accountable.
Yes, yes. The
Yeah,
power of the media, the power of the media. Yes, yes,
sure.
definitely. Well, I tell you what, I want to wish you all the best for this and all the success for this as well. And thank you so much for coming on the show and to give us a quick overview of the Windrush Warriors. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in to the Windrush Warriors. And what you can do is go straight to the website, which is windrushwarriors.com. When
.com.
you can I just ask, where did the
The
warrior come from?
windrushwarriors.com.
Duncan, where did the warrior come from? The warrior bit.
Because, we're on the warpath.
Yes,
So
yes,
therefore, we're going to fight with warrior-like ferocity. That's one of
yes,
the lines in the play, you see.
yes.
We're going to fight
Well,
back.
well,
So
that's yeah. So go on,
can
sis. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, can we thank you
Yes.
for
Yes,
giving us this airtime? We're really grateful. You've got a fabulous show.
yes.
And as I said at the start of it, we are honored to be able to share the message and be interviewed by such a wonderful presenter as yourself. Thank you so much.
The pleasure is all mine. The pleasure is all mine. And as that great song many years ago by Public Enemies, fight the power
Yes,
that be. Fight the power. I remember my kids when they were young, I said, fight the power. Fight the power that be. Listen, have a good night and
Okay.
God bless you. And of course, get your little rest at the same time because you have an exciting time coming up next week. But I believe that at the same time, something tells me that while you may be tired, but there's an excitement and a passion in you guys as well that keeps you going.
Totally.
Because of vision about it. Yeah. What's your last word, Nicola? Tell me your last word, and John, tell me your last word before we go.
Come and see the show.
Yes.
Let's have a good time together. And please, when you come, please say hello to us after the show.
Yes.
And there's also a Q&A.
Yes.
Yes, that's what you said it was going to be. Please, yes.
Yes, which, people really share their experiences, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, so it's all really helpful, educational, yet entertaining.
Fantastic. John.
Yes, it's a funny show. Come and have a good night out. There is so much trouble in the world. And of course, this is a scandal and we can't forget that. But also, let's come together, let's unite together, and let's have a laugh.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's been an honor to work with these actors. They're so energetic. They're finding the comedy in it every day, but they're also finding the poignant bits as well. So they're getting the message across. And it's a really good night out. Come and have a good night out.
And Sylbourne, we want to put you on the guest list.
Yes, you must come as a guest.
You choose whichever venue you want to come to.
No problem. Definitely will do. And for your team, Patience African Receptionist, which is Nicola Gardner,
it's me.
Sister Johnson, Jennifer Marbury Robinson.
Yes.
Sister Richards, Kathy Owen, who I spoke to a couple of times.
That's right.
She's the one who made the link.
Yes.
Brother Myers, Byron, Alexander, Xander Jackson. Yes.
Xander Jackson.
Yeah.
And Brother Leroy Lukeland Chambers.
Yes.
And Robbie the White Rasta Caretaker, Tommy C. Carey.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. That sounds very exciting. I definitely look at my diary and so like that, and definitely would really want to come and be a part of this experience, Nicola and John. And thank you guys so much for tonight and for this exclusive. Because I don't really make up shows, so I said I've got to make up a show for you guys.
Thank you so much. So grateful.
Thank you very much, and have a good night. Yes.
Okay. Right, good night to everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Windrush Warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you for joining me on this quick show that we had today, talking about the Windrush Warriors. The Windrush Warriors. You can make sure that you tune in, and it's going to be at Peckham in this weekend. Sorry, the 24th and 25th of May. That's this weekend, 24th and 25th. Let me just check my diary again. 24th and 25th, Friday and Saturday at the Theatre Peckham, London. And then Etc. Theatre London, 28th, 29th, 30th and 31st of May and the 1st of June. And then Apple Carts Theatre London, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th of June. And then it moves over into Continental Preston, 11th, 12th, 13th of June, and then Lawrence Batley Theatre in Huddersfield, that is 18th, 19th, and 21st of June, and Anthony Burrier Foundation, Manchester, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th of June. I could have simply said 25th to the 29th, but I just wanted to emphasize each actual date, actually. So please tune in, and you can go to the website as well and check it out for yourself. Okay, so I want to say God bless you and have a good night. Let me just God bless you and have a good night, and peace out. And tomorrow night in review, big things going on, election in the air, and Saturday night talk and sip. I think I'm going to do the show on Saturday night talk and sip. Put it to the people. That's what the government of Jamaica needs to do. Put it to the people with this constitutional reform. But a lot of things are happening in the UK until July the 4th. May the 4th be with you. God bless you and thank you, and have a good night. Peace out. Remember to like and subscribe as well. Thank you.